Video here. Woman can't stop crying after instantly regretting divorcing her husband. From HL Talk That Thought.
I just found out today that my ex-husband is engaged and I'm unwell. And like, even though, yes, it was me that was like, hi, I want divorce. I can't do this anymore. I can't do this anymore. I can't do this anymore.
70 to 90. 70 to 90%.
It brings up all these feelings. It brings up all this like stuff. And we have a kid and it brings up all this stuff around him.
I want to be a boss bitch.
So what is this woman then, you guys? This is a voluntary single mother. Most of these women are making themselves single mothers. You do not need to save them from their bad decision making. This is all on them. Let them go be single mothers. They're doing it to themselves. We have the highest rate of single mothers in the world. It's a tragedy, no doubt about it. But again, they're doing it to themselves most of the time. Most of these women are not being single mothers. You know, they're not turning into single mothers by being widowed or even the men leaving them. A lot of times it's them making themselves, again, single mothers. So welcome to the truth. Welcome to the RP on this. This is the fact of the matter. These women are single moms. Vol-sci moms. I don't know. They're voluntarily single mothers.
I want to be independent. I don't need a man.
It is not involuntary, which is what they want you to think. Remember that.
It's all on my own.
But you cannot just like pretend that it doesn't affect you. And I feel like people should be more out loud about it because I wish that I had more people that were like totally honest and like super transparent in really difficult times.
Welcome back, family. Today, we're going to review this 37-year-old modern woman who decided to leave her marriage just because she got bored of her husband. Then she gets jealous and starts to cry when her ex-husband got engaged to a more attractive younger woman. But before we watch her cry over her ex-husband moving on, I will let her introduce herself so that you guys can see how self-centered she was just after divorcing her husband and understand the level of craziness we are going to have to deal with today.
And before we do that, if you guys could subscribe to the channel and like the video, I would really appreciate it. So let's get into it.
Oh my God, hi. How are you? It's been so long. Just kidding, we're strangers and you don't know me. And this is my first video on this page. Did I grab your attention? Probably not, that's okay, you can keep swiping. I'm bored and something is telling me, it's not rational thought, but something is telling me to start talking at myself on the internet and just like, let's see what sticks, you know?
Just real quick, what do we see? We see tattoos, nose ring, fake eyebrows. Okay.
Maybe it'll make someone laugh. Maybe it will motivate someone. Maybe it will be inspirational.
And this is definitely a feminist. So no doubt about it, this guy married a feminist, and that is on him. You don't do that. You don't marry feminists. If you give a shit about yourself as a man, you would not ever marry a feminist, and you would not marry a modern woman at that, right? But men are going to do that. Men are going to marry modern women. Just is what it is. But marrying a feminist is just so stupid. It's so dumb. And most modern women have feminist foundations. Even the ones who say they're Republican and they're bullish on MAGA, you know, they got the Make America Great Again Trump hats. Even them, they all really, they can't help it, right? It's sometimes I even catch myself like seeing the programming that has been just hammered into me since I've been born and raised in America. You can't escape it. So, and honestly, in my opinion, the only women, and this is where you guys will probably even disagree with me, but the only women who have actually put in the effort to get rid of that programming that they have, to get rid of the psyop within them, are going to be women who are not against this space, the RP. Women who aren't, anti-RP, the women who get it, the women who embrace it. These are the types of women who actually, maybe they've done the work. Maybe they get it. But your sort of average woman, even if she is a Republican, if she hasn't done the work to break the psyop, to break the programming, she really still has these what I call feminist foundations. You just can't help it. Unless you've actively approached it head on to completely break it down and remove it, then you're still a feminist.
Or maybe it'll just be like, who is this bitch? It could be any of those things. It could be none of those things, but we won't know unless we try, right? So in the spirit of not giving, here we are. So who am I? My name is Abby. I am a millennial. I'm also a single parent. I'm divorced. Love living my single era. Have no interest in dating, but do have some good stories. I was almost gonna give away too much. I'm gonna save that one for later. But anyways, back to who am I and why should you stick around? I'm on this journey to discover my life's purpose, and I'm doing lots of different things to try and sort out what that purpose might be, including watch the movie Soul. And let me tell you, I think the lesson is that your purpose isn't the thing you're supposed to be good at, but the small moments. Did I totally misinterpret that movie? Because I haven't actually watched the beginning to end in a long time, because my kid, again, is 5 and has a really small attention span. So we'll start something and then not finish it. So I could be mistaken. But anyways, back to the point. Trying to discover that at 37 years old is crazy. What is it? I don't know. That's what we're going to figure out. And that's what I'm going to bring the internet along for.
It's that grass is greener syndrome. That's why she divorced him. She thought there was more. She's thinking the grass is greener. That's really what it comes down to, talking about purpose and shit at 37. It's never too late to reinvent yourself. I don't think it is. Obviously, you can always take on new hobbies and shit. But to me, what this really is she's scrambling. She's midlife crisis. Is that a midlife? Not quite midlife, but divorcing her husband, going on TikTok, talking about how she's not going to go ahead and find her purpose. This is a woman struggling with her reality and thinking that there's something better, just constantly. And I think this is human nature in general, is to always think, always more, better. And I think that reflects. I think that shows. I think that's why, one of the reasons why so many of these women end up divorcing their husbands, because they think the grass is greener, there's got to be something better. We hear all the time about men hitting a midlife crisis and buying a Corvette, but we never hear about these women hitting a midlife crisis and divorcing their husband, going on TikTok and talking about purpose, and going on a journey of self-discovery to find themselves. This is the modern day woman's midlife crisis, no doubt about it. And it is it's happening quite frequently.
And even if it's just one of you, and possibly my mom, who has burner TikTok accounts, apparently, Betsy, whenever she can see this, it's fine. Anyway, I'll see you around.
I am sure that you heard it for yourselves when she was bragging about how she is enjoying her single life. Well, all that fake happiness went through the window when she learned that her ex-husband just got engaged and has totally moved on happily.
For the sake of being totally transparent and just real on social media.
If she really is younger than her, like the guy who makes these videos said earlier on, that's where it hits them, because they know he found a younger woman. She knows that woman's SMV is probably higher. Now, if she's a lot uglier, maybe she's overweight, that's a different discussion. But in general, a woman like her, she finds out that her ex-husband is now dating a younger woman. That's going to hit him where it hurts. You can pretty much guarantee that.
Because everyone's so phony and refuses to talk about real things that are really happening. I just found out today that my ex-husband is engaged and I'm unwell. And listen, I'll be fine. But
you divorced him.
The only way out is through. Okay? The only way out of this is through it. You cannot bypass it. You cannot suppress it. You cannot
And this is a woman in massive regret. Because in a situation like this, you can't help but think, fuck, did I make the wrong decision? Did I make a very hasty decision? Because he's already moved on. He's engaged. I'm over here like an absolute mess. To be so blunt. She's a mess. And, she's definitely doubting herself, for sure. When he moves on that quickly, and if this woman really is younger than her, has a higher sexual market value, she's going to know that this guy is going to be living a better life now without her. And that's probably where it really hits her. And if this guy was able to go out there and get a woman of higher sexual market value than herself, then she knows she fucked up.
Didn't exist. You cannot, you can wish it didn't exist, but you cannot just pretend that it doesn't affect you. The only way out is directly through. I know I will be fine. I'm hoping that future me comes back to this and is you
made the right decision, because right now she's not so sure.
You were going to be good. You were going to be fine. And you know it. I know it. I know I will. And like, even though, yes, it was me that was like, hi, I want divorced. I can't do this anymore. I can't do this anymore. I can't do this anymore. Like, literally.
She's so tired. They're all so tired. She's just so tired. She can't do it anymore. It's too difficult. She's so tired, you guys. She needs a break. She needs a break.
Hey, sorry, play Taylor Swift. I hate it here. Like, I can't do this anymore. Even though that is true, it can also be true that it sucks.
What's the over-under on her taking SSRIs? I want to know.
It brings up all these feelings. It brings up all this like stuff, and we have a kid.
She fits the description.
And it brings up all this stuff around him, and very little of it has anything to do with my actual ex.
Has a lot to do with you, doesn't it? We know this.
I'm here to be real. I can't live any other way. And I feel like people should be more out loud about it, because I wish that I had more people that were like totally honest and like super fucking transparent in really difficult times. Because this is what like builds connections and like builds like common ground and builds like validity and all this shit that we feel that people just don't talk about, and I hate it.
What are you yapping about, yo?
All right, I'm gonna be done because
what are you talking about?
You know, I'll be fine. Everything will be right. But
Most modern women put on a front on the internet while they actually cry non-stop behind closed doors. This is the reality of most modern women. They are unhappy deep down. And this woman is new to TikTok, and she is just realizing now how much everyone is fake in here. She can clearly see that all these divorced women that are cheering each other up put on a front of being happily divorced. But
it's no doubt it's a snowball effect. It's like we see this time and time again. These women who get divorced, strangely enough, they're also on TikTok, and they encourage other women to do it. And yeah, it's a snowball effect. And I can't stress, like, in my opinion, honestly, how important this channel is. This guy's doing wonderful work, and it's really pretty crazy how he's able to take these storylines he comes across on TikTok and put them in front of us to kind of shine a light on the problem that we have, which is just how flighty so many of these women are, and how they're so quick to press that button and just divorce, and then they encourage others to do it. It's a big problem, in my opinion. And channels like this springing up, it's just a manifestation of that problem. It's like we get to see firsthand. This guy's able to make consistent videos like this, and it's absolutely insane.
Compares that to what is happening in her real life, she came to the conclusion that everyone is just fake and they don't want to talk about their real issues. This is one of the biggest reasons I dedicate this channel to keeping on exposing these modern women, because they are all putting on a front to romanticize divorce so that they can push more women to join them in their misery. I will not stop until I expose every single one of these fake, happy, divorced modern women. Now, the last clip of this woman that we are going to analyze is actually the most important and informative, because it shows how messed up most of these modern women's minds are, how they prefer to follow what makes them feel good at the moment instead of doing the right thing. The clip...
It's funny, right? The birth rate is declining, and yet the single motherhood is at its all-time high.
A little bit long, so bear with me here. We are going to cut it in 3 parts. The first part will talk about the infamous manifestation stupid theory.
I think everybody needs to go to therapy. I know
There we
that's not
go.
a revolutionary statement.
There it
it's
is.
probably obvious. Everybody needs to go to therapy. A number of times my mind has been blown by my therapist this year alone in the last 6 months of working with her. Can't count on 2 hands. She's amazing. Not the point. The point is, she gave me a book recommendation last week.
She gave me a prescription for...
Most recent thing that has been blowing my mind. So the book is called Essential Kink, and it very simply stated, it's a book about shadow work and like, you know, digging into your shadow side, your
psychotherapy, psychoanalysis,
and integrating it with your conscious side or your ego. And one of the repeated themes throughout the book is the following quote: Having is the evidence of wanting. This book suggests that without actually doing work with your subconscious side and bringing to light some of your shadow side, we won't actually be able to manifest the things that we want and live in this synchronicity with all the positive experiences that we try and manifest in, because we have to address the elephant in your whole being is your subconscious. Going back.
And this isn't just women, but people want to do everything but work hard. It's just how much are you going to work? How much effort are you going to put into it? I really don't believe there's some sort of subconscious block that you have to do shadow work and then all of a sudden you'll unlock the floodgates of abundance into your life. No, just do the work, show up every day, complete your daily tasks, put your head down, and eventually you'll realize, holy shit, I've made a lot of progress. Holy shit, things are starting to actually come together. That's how it works. There's not some subconscious block. Man, these stereotypes are so bang on. They're so accurate. It's so predictable. Holy, Taylor Swift, shadow work, TikTok, single mom, healing, journey, therapist, fuck, manifestation, tattoos, nose ring.
Having is the evidence of wanting. If we have all of these crappy situations
Gobbledygook.
in our life that we can't seem to change, it's because somewhere in us, we actually do want those things.
There you have it. Most of these modern women actually know that deep down, they want the bad boy. They are addicted to the guy that treat them like shit. And that is why they get bored in stable relationships to go chase after Chad and Tyrone. The second part of this clip show how these modern women want to keep their standard high, even though they don't deserve a high-value man.
Listen, I know it sounds a little crazy and maybe controversial to admit out loud that the bad things that are drawn into our lives might be because somewhere deep down we want those things. I know that sounds a little bit crazy, but let me give you a real life example. I like to make what I call the Mary Poppins list. And of course in Mary Poppins, the kids are making a list of attributes for their ideal nanny, what they're looking for. And the dad finds the list, they give it to him, he reads it, he shreds it up and throws it in the goddamn chimney like an asshole. But regardless, those kids made a list, and it was essentially like, these are my wishes, this is what I want to manifest, and out pops Mary Poppins. So that's why I call it the Mary Poppins list. I made one for what I would like my future partner to be. Like all the traits, all the ways that they will make me feel in the future. Time and time again, I get on these dating apps, and is it the men that I'm envisioning that are liking me? It's certainly not. Not to be a dick, and there's someone for everyone, but it's just not my type. Not the thing I'm looking for. They're just not it. So far away from what I want.
Remember that this is a 37-year-old divorced woman with a kid talking. Also remember that she was bragging about how she is enjoying her single life era in one of the previous clips. This means that the single life by choice narrative that these women claim is usually fake. They all want to be in a relationship, but the men that they want to be in a relationship with don't want them because they are already used up. The last part of the clip will demonstrate how these modern women get so easily influenced by this fake women empowerment lifestyle that the media has been pushing for decades.
When I actually did some of the work through
It's worse than we thought.
this book, it became very clear to me that if I actually got the ideal partner that I'm looking for, I would absolutely find a way to sabotage it. No doubt. I'm
because you're so traumatized. You're so damaged. You need to do some healing. Is this what your therapist is telling you? Just keep, you know what, lady? All this talk about shadow work and manifesting, here's a lesson to you. Stop affirming this nonsense to yourself that you're this damaged person and you just continue because you're so, your life is so dramatic. You've got this main character syndrome. You're such a troubled person. You've been through so much that you can't help but sabotage all the good things in your life. Have you noticed how often these women adopt this sort of romanticizing their trauma? They're like, oh, I'm so neurotic. I'm so internally damaged. I just can't help but sabotage all the good things that come into my life. They you know what? They like it. They romanticize it. It's neuroticism. They like this type of shit. They like dramatizing their life. And like I just said, they continue to affirm these types of things to themselves. So these women who apparently are all big on this manifestation stuff. In my opinion, something that is very real is how you speak to yourself and the things you tell yourself. That's definitely going to impact how you feel about yourself. So these women continue to affirm to themselves just how damaged they are. They need to do all this work. They can't help but sabotage all the good things that come into their life. They just can't fucking help it. And they affirm this garbage to themselves, and they don't see it. It's like the one method, the one thing that really holds a lot of weight is, yes, like affirmations and how you speak to yourself. They completely ignore that. Crazy.
Able to admit that out loud now. When I kind of went through some of the exercises and actually like wrote out why I think my subconscious might really be getting exactly what they want in showing me all of these people that are absolutely not my type, is to reinforce some of the stories that I tell myself. And some of those stories include, I want to be a boss bitch. I want to be independent. I don't need a man. I can do this all on my own. Yes, I embody that. I like that narrative. The other more serious and like a little bit more sad truth behind all of this is, I think deep down, I don't believe I'm actually worthy of the thing that I want. That's depressing. But that's the truth. I think I can say out loud that I don't think that I deserve that. I don't think I'm worthy of that. I don't think whatever. And that's why I'm in therapy, you guys. Like, so yeah.
Well, she's okay. She might be a little onto something here. She might be kind of onto something here. She thinks she doesn't deserve that. First off, what is she talking about? She's being very vague. Is she talking about like a really high value man? That's what she's talking about here, right? She thinks she doesn't deserve a high value man. And I don't think you do, woman. You're 37, single mom. At some point, they need to come to terms with reality, man. Your sexual market value is not that high. Okay, I know you want to max out on hypergamy. Your hypergamy is hypergamying. But woman, you're 37, single mom. It's unlikely you're actually going to step up from your ex-husband. It's very unlikely. And you probably made a bad decision, and that's what people won't tell you, That's what they won't tell her. Nobody will tell her this. And if she ever were to see me saying this stuff, she'd just get offended, right? This is why fathers are important, because they won't let us live in delusion most of the time. So at some point, you got to come live in reality with the rest of us and optimize from there. But this whole, therapy, shadow work, subconscious, don't deserve. No, it's manifestation. I really don't think it's that complicated. Maybe you could have got this man when you were younger. You didn't have a child already. You're in your prime. But at this point, you got to look in the mirror. These men you're matching with on the dating apps, they're probably of equal sexual market value. Probably superior. And yet they're still not good enough for you. Oh, here comes let me go place myself in a Home Depot and a coffee shop so some charming, handsome, high-value man with the Porsche in the parking lot will sweep me off my feet because he's so damn charismatic. And he does this 30 times a week, and that's how he's so good at it. Let me ignore meeting through family, through friends. Go to a bar, go to a restaurant. There is a stigma around that. People say you don't want to meet a woman in a bar or in a restaurant, more so a bar or a club. And I understand that. I do understand it. I haven't really thought about it too much. I can, on the surface, understand it. I don't think I would go looking for a woman at a bar unless it's for, right, some fun. But as far as a relationship, I don't think so. But again, there are exceptions for sure. But I would have to reflect on that a little bit more. But man, yeah, God.
There's no reason why I shouldn't have exactly what I want, except for that my subconscious doesn't believe that I'm deserving of it. So cool, right? But that's a really honest and real example of a place in my life in which I'm not seeing what conscious Abby thinks she wants, because we have to address what subconscious Abby believes, because we're getting exactly what subconscious Abby believes. It's a wild fucking concept, but I cannot wait to get into the work more regularly, do the exercises regularly, and like start to embrace all of this. Because
what is the rule? It's the 80-20 rule. I forget what it's called. There's a specific name that it has, the 80-20 rule. And it's basically 20% of your actions will then bring you 80% of your results. And that's like streamlining, right? And what this woman is doing here, in my opinion, is she's focusing on doing 80% of things that are going to bring her 20% results. And I'm being generous there. I don't even think she's going to get any results. She's focusing on doing all the wrong things. If you're so desperate to find a man, then you need to start optimizing. You need a good lead system. Start going out, Get involved with your friend group. Start meet new women through, I don't know, yoga or Pilates or some shit like this. Get involved with that friend circle. Go out with them, hang out with them. Start connecting. See who's single. See who knows a man who's single. Or reach out to your family. Go to a bar. But the thing is, couples are being created a lot online and on dating apps. But we continue to hear them complain about it. And she's obviously like, oh, I don't like dating apps. Something on it's not working. My inner work, my inner trauma. Okay, well then do other things. If you're too good for dating apps and you just can't help but resist swiping right on like 2% of men, if that, then just figure out a different system.
I do believe that on the other side of some of this shadow work and integration with your ego is like actual happiness. It terrifies me because that would mean that a lot of the stories that I tell myself about who I am would be completely unraveled. And then who am I? So I can't wait to share more with you as I get into that. Keep reading, because I do think that all of this will eventually help me get to what my actual purpose is. Because I already think I know what it is, you guys, but I'm fucking terrified of actually saying out loud that I want to do XYZ, because then everything would change. My whole life would change. Anyways, happy Saturday.
It is unfortunate that most women bought this boss babe, I don't need a man mentality. Even though these women know that they don't bring much to the table, they still think that they are better than the regular man, and therefore, they refuse to settle with the average man. This is the very sad state of the modern women today. It is always about how they feel. When you hear a woman saying how much she loves her therapist, just know that the therapist is telling her what she wants to hear and not what she needs to hear. Fellas, do not try to save these types of leftover women, no matter what circumstances you find yourself in. And above all, don't forget to keep your head up, focus on your goals, and everything else will follow.
Yeah, it's a good message. Okay, so good video from HL Talk That Thought. So if you enjoyed that video, drop a subscription, leave a like, and check out some of my other videos. Bye-bye.